Global Business, China's top economic planner launches an innovative platform to provide more financing opportunities for private enterprises. We take a look at the achievements of the Chengdu-Chongqing Economic Circle after 4 years of construction. China sees a significant rebound in travel and consumer spending at the beginning of 2024. Welcome to this edition of Global Business. I'm Zhen Jufeng. China's top economic planner has announced a new platform that will support financing for private enterprises, the latest in a round of measures to boost the sector. In a meeting in southeast China's Fujian province on Tuesday, officials from the National Development and Reform Commission expressed optimism about the private economy and vowed continued support. My colleague Gao Ang has the details.
To shore up the confidence of private enterprises and promote the high-quality development of the private economy, China's top economic planner has announced new measures to fuel growth.
The meeting will also release the National Financing Credit Services Platform, built by the National Development and Reform Commission and other relevant departments. Private enterprises will also sign cooperation agreements with financial institutions and release initiatives.
The meeting stressed the success of the Jinjiang experience. Over the years, Jinjiang has transformed from a poor county to the top one in Fujian province, with its GDP hitting more than 300 billion yuan or $40 billion in 2022. It has achieved this by focusing on developing the private and real economies while allowing firms of all types to innovate and promote an entrepreneurial spirit. Private enterprises contribute more than 90% of its output value, tax revenue, and employment.
Relevant national departments have successively introduced a series of policy measures to boost private investment, promote fair access, strengthen legal protection, and financial support. These have injected strong impetus into the development of the private economy, where it can be said development opportunities outweigh challenges.
Officials say imports and exports by private enterprises increased by more than 6% year-on-year during the first 11 months of last year, making it a major driving force of China's foreign trade. Gao Ang, CGTN, Jinjiang, Fujian Province.
China has rolled out a series of policies to boost the growth of private enterprises. In August, China launched 28 measures to reduce tax and facilitate tax payment procedures for the private sector, especially small and medium-sized companies. 1 month later, the State Administration of Market Regulations published 22 measures to optimize the business environment, shore up policy support, and improve the legal system for the sector. In November, the People's Bank of China and 7 other departments jointly issued 25 policies to optimize financial support policies and improve financing to boost the private economy. When you browse social media, you will find thousands of short videos about Chongqing, many of which have gone viral. As this year marks the 4th anniversary of the Chengdu-Chongqing Economic Circle, we take a look at why people are so curious about this vibrant, eclectic city.
Chongqing is one of the biggest cities in China and the only one of China's 4 municipalities in the southwest. It's a unique place that blends old and new and the man-made with the natural environment. The food from Chongqing is known for its strong and spicy taste. Hot pot is one of the main specialties and is a must-eat during any visit. Chongqing has maintained its top spot on the list of top 10 Chinese cities with nighttime economic influence for 3 consecutive years and created a raft of nighttime consumption landmarks such as Hongyadong, Raffles City, and 9th Street and Ziwei Road. In 2023, Chongqing launched over 200 special nighttime activities, which have attracted over 200,000 businesses and more than 160 million consumers. The total sales volume has reached 7.3 billion RMB.
Chongqing is so popular in TikTok, and we are very welcome foreigners come here to experience Chongqing's nightlife.
The 9th Street holds the crown when it comes to nightlife in Chongqing. You won't see many people here during the day, but as soon as night falls, it turns into a vibrant hub full of people.
Chongqing is the most beautiful city I've been in China. It's good, especially the street of the bar. In October, how many people on the street, especially on this area. It's almost impossible to walk.
In 2022, the GDP of Chongqing ranked fourth after Shanghai, Beijing, and Shenzhen. Somewhat different from the flourishing Shanghai and traditional Beijing, Chongqing has its own unique character. Life here is slower and more laid back. Every day, many people can be seen drinking tea with friends along the riverbank, playing mahjong, or strolling around the city.
Because I have also a chance to see other cities of China. But Chongqing gives me kind of feeling that it's different to other cities. Because Chongqing is a big metropolis, because the food, the local food, is very strong. But I see that Chongqing people is changing very fast. And I see how now they move to really Western, and that is what we are doing. It's something that attracts me a lot.
With the approval of the State Council, Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, Tianjin, and Chongqing will take the lead in developing international consumption center cities. In the past 10 months, the total volume of retail sales of consumption goods in Chongqing increased by 7.6% compared to the same period in the previous year.
We will continue to take advantage of the terrific nice scenes and the characteristics of the so-called AD Magic City of Chongqing to create new night scenarios for customers, to nurture new business models and hold special consumption-themed activities, and to nurture more local brands to be popular with customers. Let the city be true to its name of a sleepless city and international consumption center.
Let's take a look at some of the achievements made during the construction of the Chengdu-Chongqing Economic Circle. Regional GDP reached 5.9 trillion yuan in the first 3 quarters of last year. In the first 11 months of 2023, the total industrial added value achieved 1.68 trillion yuan, up 6% year-on-year. About 248 projects were listed as major projects in the region during the same period, with an annual investment of over 370 billion yuan. A total of 17 national key laboratories in Sichuan and Chongqing have been optimized and restructured, including the officially launched Chengdu-Chongqing Comprehensive Science Center. Experts say the establishment of the center, serving as a key move and key task of Chengdu and Chongqing, is to speed up construction of a scientific and technological innovation center with national influence. For more on the development of the Chengdu-Chongqing Economic Circle, let's talk to Ying Chengzhi, Associate Dean of the School of Public Policy and Management at Tsinghua University. Thank you for joining us. What are the most important industries in the Chengdu-Chongqing Economic Circle nowadays?
Yeah, thank you. The Chongqing and Chengdu Economic Circle is a key economic region in Western China, which boasts several highlight industries. For instance, the car manufacturing sector is a significant industry in the circle, with both Chengdu and Chongqing having relatively complete car industry chains. Additionally, the information industry is also rapidly developing in that region, particularly in Chengdu, which is a home to numerous well-known information companies. Moreover, the circle is actively promoting modern service industries such as finance, trade, education, and, as it showed, research, which are playing vital roles in driving regional economic development.
How can Chongqing and Chengdu integrate into the Yangtze River transport system and also the broader Belt and Road initiative?
Actually, I have been involved into the planning of the Three Gorge Regional Transportation System in 2002, more than 20 years ago, and many things are reality nowadays, which we had planned for the transportation. You know, both Chengdu and Chongqing are actively integrating into the Belt and Road, or BRI, transportation system by enhancing the connectivity of the airports, railways, and highways to BRI corridors, ensuring efficient movement of goods and the people. For instance, the upgrading of the airports in Chengdu, Tianfu International Airport, and Chongqing Jiangbei International Airport has improved regional connectivity. At the same time, the operation of the China-Europe Express and the Chongqing-Xinjiang-Europe International Railway transport channel has strengthened logistic connections with countries along the BRI. And the region is integrated into the transportation system of the Yangtze River Economic Belt through the Yangtze River Golden Waterway, that's very traditional, and the Yangtze River Expressway. It is man-made highway system, and the economic integration between the inland and coastal areas have been promoted with this traffic infrastructure.
Right. The region has been focusing on developing advanced manufacturing. You just mentioned car manufacturing. Also, they're focusing on big data and supercomputing. I visited a supercomputer facility in Chongqing last year. What are the prospects of these sectors to drive local growth?
Yeah, those new industries are having broad prospects. Chengdu and Chongqing as regional growth poles are with strong industrial foundations and technological research and development capabilities. In terms of advanced manufacturing, both regions, both municipalities are actively developing intelligent manufacturing and green manufacturing, promoting the upgrading of traditional industries in the same time. In the field of big data, the Chengdu-Chongqing region has abundant talent, resources, and policy supports, and is constructing a big data industrial park to promote the development of industries such as data collection, processing, and analysis. In terms of supercomputing, both municipalities have supercomputing centers that are providing strong computing support for scientific research, engineering, design, and other fields. With policy promotion and market demand growth, I believe the development of these areas will inject new impetus, you may say, into the economy of Chengdu-Chongqing metropolitan region.
Yeah, that region's got lots of population and huge potential to develop. Thank you so much, Mr. Ying Chengzhi, Associate Dean of School of Public Policy and Management at Tsinghua University. You're watching Global Business, still to come. China sees a significant rebound in travel and consumer spending as the beginning of 2024.
The world economy as we know it is about to change. Global business reports highlight emerging markets, developing countries, and dynamic sectors worldwide. We feature top analysts and newsmakers to provide perspectives on every facet of business. From an on-the-ground perspective, we provide you with balanced and objective assessments. Fast, sharp, and insightful. Global Business, only on CGTN.
China saw a significant rebound in travel and consumer spending during the New Year holiday. The National Immigration Administration reported nearly 5.18 million border crossings with a daily average of over 1.7 million, signaling a return to pre-pandemic levels. Domestically, Beijing's 170 tourist attractions welcomed 4.8 million visits over the past 3-day holiday, an 80% increase compared to last year. On consumer spending, sales in key retail and catering sectors grew 11% year-on-year. Consumer demand for smart appliances, traditional clothing, jewelry, and home products also saw notable increases. This year's New Year celebration in China showcased a blend of new trends like ice and snow sports alongside with classic pastimes such as going to the movies. Our Wang Ke has more.
A total of 135 million tourist trips were made domestically during the recent 3-day New Year's holiday in China. And that's a significant surge of 155% compared to last year. Tourism sector revenue saw an even more substantial increase, more than doubling to almost 80 billion yuan. Clearly, the cold didn't stop the Chinese engaging in outdoor sports. In less than a month since the opening of this ice and snow resort in Shanxi, over 100,000 visitors have already flocked to the venue.
It was fun, thrilling, but also very safe, which makes it great.
The Chinese government highlighted that the growing popularity of ice and snow leisure spans large parts of the country, thanks to an evidently cooler and younger generation, particularly those born in the 1990s. In the meantime, classic holiday pastimes, such as strolling through shopping malls and enjoying a movie with family and friends, remained popular.
Today I watched 2 action movies, I Did My Way and Goldfinger, and I like them both.
The 2 blockbusters the moviegoer mentioned were Chinese films, which dominated the film market during this New Year celebrations. Raking in more than 1.5 billion yuan in revenue, China's box office just keeps hitting new highs in the holiday season. Wang Ke, CGTN.
China and Thailand will waive visa requirements for each other's citizens starting from March. The Thai government's 2024 stimulus plan includes approving 8 new airlines addressing the flight scarcity issue. Martin Low has more.
Few large countries are as heavily reliant on tourism as Thailand, and bringing back Chinese visitors is now the #1 priority here. During the Thai tourist high season, there's been a temporary visa waiver for Chinese travellers, but now an announcement's been made that that will become permanent, paving the way, it's hoped, for people from China to once again become the largest group of overseas visitors here, as they were before COVID, but they haven't been during 2023. The Thai government's also introduced a range of stimulus measures. It's given the go-ahead for 8 new airlines operating both internationally and domestically. Lack of flights was one of the reasons given for lower than hoped for tourist numbers. It's also allowing bars and nightclubs to open later, instead of closing at 2 a.m, 4 a.m. in some key tourist areas. The idea is tourists get a longer night out and more money goes into the local economy. And the government has also reduced tax on alcohol, things like wine and local beer. That should mean that alcohol is cheaper, at least in the shops, if not in the bars. But the message from the Thai government to visitors is, don't buy alcohol at duty-free at the airport. Buy it for the same price or even cheaper from local shops, putting money directly into the hands of local shopkeepers. Martin Low, CGTN, Phuket.
Following the new visa policy, there's been a significant increase in searches for Thailand tours on Chinese domestic tourism online platforms. Searches for Bangkok doubled on China's largest social travel site, Mafengwo, while searches for Thailand tours soared on to nearly 160% on online travel platform Tongcheng. Take a look at some other business headlines from across the globe. The U.S. federal government's public debt has reached $34 trillion for the first time in history, or about 1.3 times its GDP in 2022. The record high public debt came as members of the Congress gear up for another series of federal funding battles in coming weeks. The German workforce increased by 0.7% in 2023 on an annual basis to about 46 million. The figure set a new record since 1990. The German Statistics Authority attribute record high employment figure mainly to the inflow of immigrants. China's electric car maker BYD overtook US rival Tesla as the world's leading EV deliverer. Tesla said on Tuesday that it had delivered 484,000 EVs in the fourth quarter, falling short of BYD's 526,000. Danish shipping giant Maersk and its German counterpart Hapag-Lloyd said on Tuesday that they have extended suspension of shipping through the Red Sea and Suez Canal. They have been rerouting some shipments via Africa's Cape of Good Hope due to growing attacks from the Yemen-based Houthi group on cargo vessels in the region. The disruption has pushed up prices for oil, natural gas and delivery costs for goods. Egypt has unveiled plans to export approximately 2.3 million tons of citrus fruits from its current market season. That's according to the chairman of the Citrus Commitment of Egyptian Agricultural Export Council. The figure reflects a 15% increase on the last market season. Yasser Hakim sheds light on the importance of citrus exports to the economy and the government's plan going forward.
Citrus fruits exports have been on the rise recently as Egypt becomes the largest exporter in the world for the 5th year in a row. Hadi Selim manages a farm in Nubaria city north of Cairo that exports about 12,000 tons of citrus fruits to 40 countries annually. He says this is owed to various regulations set by the government.
Egypt dominates international exports, first of all because of the export subsidy program by the president, which provides tax refunds for exporters, and this has encouraged investments. Secondly, it's the rigorous quality control mechanism based on international standards, which has helped us open new markets.
Exports are considered a vital source of revenue for the economically stricken nation.
In 2023, total exports were $40 billion, which is about half the hard currency revenue for the state. Agricultural exports account for 10% of total exports, while citrus fruits account for 35% of agricultural exports. It makes it a very important source that would give a boost to the economy.
According to Egypt's Agricultural Export Council, Egypt is top exporter worldwide with 2 million tons in 2022-2023 season, followed by Spain. Egypt is the third in revenue stream from citrus exports at $650 million. 85% of exported citrus are oranges. The target now is for citrus exports to reach 2.3 million tons in 2024, a 15% increase year on year.
Due to the 30% drop in harvests in Spain this season, we are significantly increasing our supplies to the EU to cover the shortage from Spain. Last year, from May to mid-June, we even exported containers to Spain, which is our biggest competitor, because of climate change and the drought over there. We've established 120 citrus export points in Egypt, and there are more established every year to attract exporters. Egypt is also a logistical location with 2 oceans and many ports, which facilitates shipping.
Citing the potential for growth, the government has been adopting a short-term plan to promote exports.
The state has a strategy to increase exports by 10% annually for 5 years. It is opening new markets and establishing 12 logistical hubs in African countries. Egypt is signing up to economic blocs that allow duty-free access for Egyptian products in different markets. They are also cultivating new land plots to produce crops especially for exports.
Officials hope the success story of Egypt's citrus fruits exports can be emulated in other sectors as well. Yes, Hakim for CGTN, Cairo, Egypt.
It's that time of the year again. As we enter 2024, be prepared for a steady stream of commercials push you to be all you can be by selling you a New Year's resolution. But as it turns out, new data shows that more Americans are getting tired of the very idea of a New Year's fix. And those feelings tend to differ depending on which generation you were born in. Isabel Diaz reports.
New year, new you. That's what companies try to sell consumers before and after the clock strikes midnight on January 1st each year. Whether it's signing up for a new gym membership,
my New Year's resolution is to get a 6-pack by the 3rd month of 2024.
Or even an annual meal prep plan.
My 2 main New Year resolution is eating healthier and working out.
But it seems the tides may be turning out of corporate America's favor.
My New Year's resolution actually dates back to my infancy when I said I would never have New Year's resolutions.
A survey commissioned by almond milk company Almond Breeze found more than half of U.S. adults say New Year's resolutions are out of date.
I feel like a lot of people feel as though they're not going to commit throughout the year, so it becomes outdated and no one wants to do it.
I think they probably are outdated. It seems like a bygone era.
And the one group especially disillusioned by the idea? Millennials. In fact, they're the most likely to admit to intentionally breaking their New Year's pledge. Still, for all the general discontent with New Year's goals, U.S. adults are still making them.
I think it's a good check-in a year, at least once a year. Check in with yourself, your goals.
According to a survey by Forbes Health, the most popular goals this year are improving fitness, finances and mental health, as well as losing weight and implementing a better diet. When it comes to generational trends, millennials typically prioritize food-related goals, Gen Z tends to be more money-focused, and as for Gen X and baby boomers, they are more concerned with their health in general. But all that goal setting may have less to do with a passion for change and more to do with societal pressure. According to Forbes, 6 in 10 U.S. adults say they feel pressured to set a resolution.
You know, everyone wants to get my body right and go work out. You know, getting started and just staying with it has probably been like, you know, the hardest.
And if it's hard for you to keep your resolution, don't feel so bad. For Gen Z and millennials, tightening those purse strings tends to be the hardest. For Gen X and baby boomers, changing their diets is the toughest task.
I've never met anybody in my entire life who said, man, I went through this year and I just nailed my New Year's resolution. I've never met anybody.
Data shows just 5% of Americans tend to stick to their resolutions for a full year, with more than 50% saying they give up by the spring. So what's the alternative?
Go out and party. Have a great time. Live it up.
Isabella Diaz, CGTN.
Well, I share that same notion. Just have a good time, you know. New Year resolution is outdated. That'll do for this edition of Global Business. I'm Jeffrey in Beijing. Thanks for watching. Continue to watch CGTN for more news and views.